Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. That's the answer. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are getting back to Death Note. This is Season 1, Episode 9. This one's called Encounter. Well, that could mean a lot of things, but I absolutely love this show, and I might thank all of you every time I watch it for recommending it, because I love the cat and mouse back and forth between L and Light. Love it.
Light is getting a little cocky, and definitely ready, willing, and able to see him fumble, but so far he has not, including letting a $400 LED TV go to waste.
Yeah, Encounter being the title of this episode, I would like to see Light encounter a high-speed bus.
That too.
Or handcuffs, either way. But can't stand that kid. I need L to get some stuff done. Let's go.
All right, let's go!
He just had to tell Naomi who he was.
Had
to tell him. Had to tell her who he was.
That's part of what his thing is. He likes people knowing he's got an narcissistic complex. Here we are, back with Light's special alone time.
But I just ate these chips.
I will eat.
Remember, you had the chips after dinner.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
And eat it.
L himself.
Give him the side eye.
Glad you folks enjoyed our last discussion.
He's all twisted up.
I just flew out and checked a 100-meter radius around you, and there was no one there. But on the news, they said they were dispatching 1,500 investigators to Japan.
I think we know otherwise.
They'd come and investigate secretly. I'll buy you some apples. Nice.
Nice.
Light, come on, hurry up.
Ooh, those teeth, gotta be careful. Like an aggressive dog.
It's not right. I might actually write your name in my death note.
There we go. Problem solved, right?
I've got one finishing touch left to add.
I've been thinking about the purse snatcher.
A purse snatcher.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Snatched a purse. That's it.
Huh? Your son has come home.
He likes his sweets. Does.
Wow.
Ice cream and pies.
You're watching TV. There's a chance I'll look even more suspicious if only these lesser criminals end up dying while I'm not receiving information. All I really have to do is remember the identities of the criminals I either see on TV or while I'm online. Whenever I go out, I can use that piece of the death note I keep in my wallet to kill them.
This kid.
I've listened to all of our audio recordings, and I've come to a conclusion.
More sweets.
Has revealed nothing. We will remove the cameras and wiretaps.
We're all looking a little disheveled here, huh?
They've been putting in the hours.
We were unable to reveal anything suspicious, even if Kira was among them.
What? Why are we...
Or is it like to show his tics or whatever that he has?
Probably,
I think so.
Yeah. His processes.
Yeah.
They're his processes.
You believe that Kira is among one of those families?
There's a 5% chance. Let's say he could kill someone simply by wishing death upon them. Some sign that they were knowingly committing an act of murder.
Unless...
What if
However-
he is one of these people we've been watching? We have to assume that his psyche has reached godlike proportions.
Yeah.
That's understatement.
God complex.
Completely absurd to think that God would need a person's face and name,
Oh, yeah. Ridiculous.
but someone very childish and immature who wants to pretend they're God.
There you go. Thank you. Yes.
But I can't count on Kira making any mistakes, so what should I do? I would get to know him well enough that he'd admit to me that he was Kira.
Use his ego. It's gonna be his ego. That's how he's got to do it.
Isn't that how they always get caught?
Yep. Even in real life.
All the cameras have been removed. All of them. Are you listening to me?
Give me my apples.
I suppose this means I'm no longer a suspect, but I'm sure Elle won't give up that easily. I'll have to use my father to find out Elle's true identity.
It's like a dog catching a frisbee.
Kira will be one step closer to becoming the god of the new world.
Oh, okay, all right.
jeez.
The god of the new world.
Wow.
Or life. This kid.
This kid is the worst. The absolute worst.
And once I get into university, I'll have a lot more room to act as Kira.
How many more people do you need to take out? Hope he fails.
What if he fails the exam? Is he going to take out the guy that failed him?
Maybe.
I'm here too early.
Well, confident.
Maybe he's not going to do as good on his tests as he thought because he's been too busy being an asshole. His tests are always stressful.
How much can you memorize?
Does he not even want to do the test now because he knows he's God? Or he feels as though he's a god?
Is he bored with test taking and studies?
Sit properly in your chair.
Oh.
Oh.
L got in there. Oh, there's the encounter.
What?
I can't believe L is in there taking the test with him. Holy shit.
Oh, we haven't heard from these guys in a while. They still gambling?
Wick is being kept by a human.
What he's thinking? Who would want him as a pet? In that case, I think I better go take a closer look, old boy.
Ooh.
Blackjack?
I want to see more of the test taking. All right, here we go.
Could he maybe not concentrate because L was there?
Yeah, but he wouldn't have known that was L.
Yeah, he wouldn't have known. He just thought he was a
True.
weird student.
You're a college student now. I'm filled with joy.
He doesn't care one bit, does he?
Freshman Representative Light Yagami and Freshman Representative Hideki Ryuga.
Or Ryuga.
Hideki Ryuga, the pop idol? That guy?
I remember him from the exam center.
What?
Got into trouble for sitting oddly in his desk.
Look at him just...
He's using the name of a pop idol?
I guess both of them must have had the high score this year.
I think I like the little one on the right. What?
Looks like a sheltered genius who's been groomed for success his whole life.
As we embark.
Coming to the Toho
He is a
entrance
genius.
ceremony dressed like that? Unbelievable.
Hideki Ryuga.
Think Light might try to take him out by name and it's not going to work?
Then it won't work, and then he'll know.
Your father is Chief Soichiro Yagami of the NPA.
Who the hell is this guy?
Planning to join the police agency when you graduate.
Still sit like that in the chair.
Important information concerning the Kira investigation that I'd like to share with you.
Yep.
Is it safe to just ignore him? I wonder what this information actually is.
Don't.
Oh, he's baiting him.
What is it?
I know it's you.
I want to tell you I'm Al.
Whoa. Whoa.
There it is.
What's he talking about?
It's the reveal?
If he really was L, he'd never admit to it.
Huh?
No, stop. There'd be no reason for him to be afraid. Then you have nothing but my respect and admiration.
Thank you. I think you could be of some help to us on the Kira investigation. Something tells me I'm not wrong to suspect you. I can't think of anything that would put more pressure on you than this little scenario.
I guess.
If this guy really is L, I can't do
cracking.
anything to him.
Yeah, you can't because maybe he...
If he were to die right after telling me who he was, it would only confirm their suspicion.
Exactly.
Yep.
If I try to kill him by simply writing his name, I might accidentally picture the face of Ryuga the pop star.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Is he really L? Does he already suspect that I'm Kira? What other reason could he have for telling Soichiro Yagami's son that he's L? I can't let him see any signs of distress. It's better if I just clear my mind.
Keep calm, dude.
Yeah.
Calmer than you are, dude.
Totally calm, dude.
What a maniac. I can't believe we had the reveal and essentially the sit down with these two.
Well, it's crazy that he gave him the name of a pop star whose face he knows. Mm-hmm. What a workaround.
I think it's your new friend. Nice meeting you.
The pleasure was mine.
Your posture is awful.
A limousine?
I'm sure I'll see you on campus.
Yeah,
Isn't he going to
take
tell
care.
him about the case?
In time.
In time.
Plus, he's at the top of the class. Where's the justice?
What a
Where's the
Justice. I am the justice.
I am the law.
I'm the law. Oh, a movie I've never seen.
Hey,
start to
welcome
finish.
home, Mr. Toho.
It's not on Judge Dredd.
I will eat a chip.
Damn it! He got me!
Ah, he's
What do
cracking.
you mean?
Yeah.
If I kill him and it turns out he's not really El, announcing to the real El that I am Kira. Sorry.
Oh.
I want nothing more than to kill him. But if I do, it's like asking to get caught.
Jesus.
Light is usually
guess
so
not.
calm, but he snapped.
It's already too late to do anything about it since he's approached me and introduced himself as El. I underestimated him.
Is that a tear or is he sweating?
I think that's sweat.
SWAT.
He could be telling all the suspects the same thing. In fact, it doesn't even have to be him. He got me. He'll keep trying to move in on me, playing the absent-minded genius.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Start rubbing his hands together.
Picks up an unforeseen cat and starts petting it.
After all, this is proof that they don't have anything on me yet. If it's my friendship you want, I'll gladly accept it. Then I'll kill you. With my hands if I have to.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
With his hand.
His hands.
He's going to get those hands. Oh, what an episode. They said, it was, the title of it was Encounter. I did not expect here in episode 9 for El to reveal himself to Light. That was wild, and I don't think any of us saw that coming.
No.
But a couple of things that I just kind of thought about early on in the episode. Look, aside from Light's mindset that he's in with his whole God complex or whatever, he's taken out so many people. He's taken out so many criminals that, from what he can see, he's down to purse snatchers and embezzlers and whatever. Now, granted, that was just who he saw because of the condition.
And at least he said at this point, though, lesser criminals.
Yeah, he did
at least
acknowledge
he acknowledged that little tidbit,
Yeah.
but geez, come on.
Yep. And what I found interesting was, if he was truly doing it for a just reason and cause, why would he keep doing it? He's essentially taken out everybody who's done any kind of serious crime. Like, there's no reason to keep doing it, to keep taking people out. So that just shows it's because he's got this complexity. Like he said, he wants to rule this new world. That's exactly what he said. So I found that really fascinating. And, it just shows what kind of mindset he has. And now he's got a new challenge. He gets to match wits with El. And at first he was freaked out about it. He was really thrown off his game, which I enjoyed seeing. Mm-hmm. But now he's kind of did the whole evil maniacal laugh. And like you said, Answer, he might as well have been rubbing his hands together or petting some random cat that just showed up. But the one thing that I did notice in this episode, and folks help me out, or maybe you guys can, is that the first time we've heard Ryuk have an inner dialogue about Light? Because I don't recall him thinking, in his mind about Light. And maybe he did. Maybe he did when he made the offer for the eyes. But that seems like the first time I've heard Ryuk have an inner dialogue, which I found interesting because now he's kind of stepping back and maybe getting to see how things go with between these two, and provide some entertainment for him and maybe some entertainment for the other Shinigami that are wherever they are, because the one guy said he wanted to check on things and see what was going on. So I just wonder if they're all going to come down and just watch and take in the entertainment, because they haven't been doing anything other than playing cards forever. So that was pretty wild. And the last thing that I wanted to hit on was, look, Light finally had his breaking point and said he will take out El with his own hands if he has to. He's not going to use the death note. So he will actually go and do it himself. So that was another kind of turning point. So I think a lot of things happened in this episode that are pretty big in the scale of things. I'm just wondering to see where we build from here. But you can't keep getting away with it.
The thing that got me in this one was when Light said, it's not the same with a Shinigami killing a human as a human taking a human. It's just not the same. It's like, yeah, it's still a human losing their life, whether you want to try and justify it because you wrote it in your little notebook or not. Like, you're still taking another person's life. But what I loved about this episode is now we got them to... it had been teased the whole time we've been watching, the opening credits where it shows them both looking at each other by their train station, blah, 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 in the opening credits. But now we finally have them coming face to face, and like El said, it's a less than 5% chance that it's him.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's still not a
So
suspect.
you're telling me there's a chance.
And so now we have this great cat and mouse game, and it looked like it pained Light to say that he won this round, but it's like I'll be friends with him.
Oh, that L won the round.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
L won the round.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Light was just in like sweating bullets, and even that's where he saw Ryuk was like, oh man, he's fuming. Usually he's so calm about everything, calm about every little thing. $400 TV, I can get another one. College exam, I'll get 100%, no problem. Yet I never did that on tests, and I didn't even have a death note. So,
well, and it just goes to show that the pressure that Light is under to be perfect every single time, L only needs him to slip up once on something.
And it's just been very, very intriguing. I can't wait.
You know, well, the interesting thing about their encounter, as the episode is titled, is that Al is, look, he's less than 5%. So we can maybe assume that he's looking into other people or whatever. But Al his inner monologue is telling us less than 5%. Where Light is pretty convinced now that Al knows it's him. So we have two completely different mindsets here. We have to assume that Al is going to continue to investigate other people, keep an eye on other people, and look at things different just because he hasn't written him off as a suspect, where Light now has to have every single move he makes planned out as if Al is watching him and trying to catch him red-handed. Al might be looking at bigger picture yet. Light is down to every single move. So again, cat and mouse, a chess game, if you will. So I thought this was a great episode. We've seen how just maniacal Light has gotten. We're down to purse snatchers. Now I'm not condoning snatching purses, but I think we could all agree it might not be a penalty worth punishing someone with, ending their life over.
Well, we saw how you handle it in GTA 5.
Well, that's a different story. It's a fictional world. This fictional world is trying to, in any regard, he's gone so far down, and now he's talking about doing it with his bare hands.
Yeah.
So this isn't even death note. This is just you just wanting to eliminate anybody by any means who gets in your way. A curious side note that I have is, are all the prisons there empty now? Think about it.
Can't be many people left.
Think about it, because he would research who's there, see their face. I thought it was a pretty wild move that L took the name of a famous pop star. Okay, which of course Light is going to know his face. So there's the potential. Where are the shortcomings with the death note? If he's writing somebody's face he's seen and a name he knows,
but he's not thinking of the right face.
He's not thinking of the right face, or I don't know, there's people share the same names and stuff like that. How's that going to play out? So another great episode, writing top notch. I am becoming more and more despised with Light as the episodes go on, but the game of chess, cat and mouse, is getting more and more intense. Can't wait to see what happens in the next episode.
And the thing that I like is we're getting a little bit more into L's character. We kind of laughed at first the way he would sit in chairs, but guy's got a serious sugar and sweets addiction going on. They
had ice cream the first time.
Yeah, they had ice cream. Then they had what looked like cheesecake, and then he was eating the candies. And I
was
thought
a peanut butter cup.
Yeah, and I thought he took a lot of sugar in his tea or coffee, whatever he was having there. So
probably
really likes his sweets. They're making a point to show he doesn't wear shoes or socks unless he absolutely has to.
He's got his quirks.
He's got his quirks and his tics, which are real interesting. So I want to learn more about L's background, and I'm sure we will as we go on. I got a feeling we'll probably get to that because he's a real interesting character, and like most
even the girls in the audience at the ceremony were like he's all dressed all shabby and stuff. He must just be like one of those beautiful geniuses.
It's interesting because he got in a limo after class too, but it's everybody else is going to just think he's a normal person, but Light is going to be like, okay, this guy
if he really is.
Yeah. And I wonder how much pressure L's going to put on Light, though, because he came at him with the whole, like, I want you to help.
Yeah.
I want you to help. I want you to help. Look, we got to remember, L isn't letting Light know that he considers him a suspect at all. That's all in Light's head.
Yeah, it is.
The paranoia.
Well,
and that's what he's trying to get going.
Elle can tell Light the wrong information and then see what happens.
Yeah, and make him think, oh, is he really telling me the info, or is this another misdirection? He's going to be playing that back and forth. And if I could see one thing in this series, I would like to see. And look, I know they're not doing it because it's more of a one-on-one, Light versus Elle. But to your point, Oak, I would like to see Elle's other investigations just for the sake of, or at least even telling us that they did it off screen, just to let us know that, Light is only at 5%. Well, who else is he investigating? I mean, I get that doesn't really make a lot of sense as far as forwarding the story, but it would be nice if they maybe threw that in a little bit more of who else he's investigating.
The closest we had was Naomi worked with him before in America, and they solved a couple cases, or they solved a case together. So that's as much as my knowledge.
Yeah, but just in terms of the other suspects from the other family that they were checking.
So you see, it's not that hard for Elle to give Light the wrong advices.
The wrong
Light
advice.
is like a child.
Oh my God!
And he even said that.
When
that
it comes to the
he
investigation,
acts like a
he comes
child,
to me.
yeah.
I am the father. Comes to me for advices. So you see, it's not that hard for Elle to give him the wrong advices.
Very much so. We'll end on that note right then and there. So this show's
from
been
Pumping
great.
Iron, folks.
That's an Arnold classic. Classic line from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Imagine that
Public
Oak is
Iron.
doing an Arnold impersonation. New to the channel. No, thank you so much for watching this along with us. This show has been amazing. We cannot wait to dive into another episode with y'all. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, the answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals. So now from the intro, we saw the blue hair and then the red hair. So then we got to see it
it's
in the last episode. So it was kind of nice.
Do you guys have a favorite kind of apple?
Honeycrisp.
Yeah, those are good. I like the Galas or the Fujis too. Are really good.
I mean, to me, there's.
I don't buy it. It's all lies.
I was gonna say
I
though,
could lay
there's
out
no
10
my
apples,
least favorite
and
apple.
if you did a blind taste test, would you be able to tell me?
Yeah, they have different textures and sweetness levels to them. Absolutely.
I know.
they do.
So here's the thing: like, I could, if somebody laid out 3 apples, I could take a bite of each apple and say, "Oh, these have distinct tastes." But what I'm saying is, if I laid out 10 apples, would you be able to
name 'em?
tell the difference accurately between all 10?
I think I could get pretty close. I would know which ones I like. Therefore, I would know that they
He
were
has
either
one
a
with his
Gala or a
palate.
Fuji or a Honeycrisp.
Gala, Honeycrisp, the
Like the Red Delicious.
the Red Delicious.
Those are
I know.
gross.
I don't know why it has. I don't know why it has delicious.
There's our challenge video.
Granny
Mason
Smith.
Death
Quinn
Note challenge.
actually do it.
Granny Smith apples.
Gotta write that down.
Oh, there's no way, guys.
Yes,
No.
there is. 1,000%.
I give you 50% accuracy at best. More realistically, 25.
I have to admit, I was surprised, Ryuga. I never thought you'd ask me to play tennis.
Oh, here we go.
Did you know how good I was?
One time I was actually the British junior champion.
Oh, he's gonna have this in her.
I lived in England for about 5 years. Nothing in that story would reveal Elle's true identity.
Whoa.
Our first match, why don't we just play a single set? First
Just
one
outright
to
said
6.
it.
That's not something he would say to somebody he thought was just wanted to help with an investigation.
But I know Kira hates to lose.
Oh, coming in hot!
Was that a Roger Federer serve there?
You sure don't mess around.
He who strikes first wins.
He who strikes first wins. Remember that.
It's been 4 months since this case came to the public's attention, and they want results.
The rest of the department runs away with their tails between their legs, and we're incompetent? Mm-hmm. Most of our detectives would rather let a serial killer roam free than risk their lives.
What about this L character? Can he be trusted?
Absolutely.
He's a lot more capable than we are. He's risking his life.
These are the same 2 guys who scored perfect on the exam.
They're smart and good at tennis.
I suppose I could just lose on purpose. He might also expect me to throw the match to avoid suspicion.
See?
Oh,
I have to assume he has some other goal in mind. Not going to let him win.
I thought Elle was wearing sandals there for a minute.
Whoa.
He's going for the win.
We've got an umpire and a line judge. He was the 0203 junior high tennis champion.
What about my Ryuga?
One girl gave him the side eye.
This is a token gesture. An elaborate act will go through.
You'll assume that I'm preparing to take a step closer.
Oh, this is awesome.
And then you're going to try and trap me.
I'm sure you'll tell me you need to know if you can trust me first.
It only makes sense that I'd want to ask for proof that you are in charge of the investigation.
Yeah, I would not be thinking about this during tennis. I'd just be hitting the ball.
We'll have to go to task force headquarters.
You must attack!
Oh, best defense, more offense.
6 games to 4!
There you go. Too bad you can't dual wield rackets.
That's not how tennis works.
You need to be able to do the backhand.
You want to go somewhere for a drink?
The least I can do is answer some of your questions.
Well, here we go.
I suspect that you are in fact Kira. If you still want to ask me something, then please go ahead. Well, when I say I suspect
Guys.
you, it's only a 1% possibility.
1%.
I'd like nothing more than to have you work with me.
That was well worded. It was quite the preemptive move on his part.
I can't believe he just told him.
Yeah. I just love the inner dialogue here.
Not to mention, we're so out of the way here, no one's going to give you a hard time about the way you sit.
You see, if I were to sit normally, my deductive skills would immediately be reduced by roughly 40%.
Oh, look at all the creamer.
Right.
I
I'm
can
sure
relate.
that can wait until you're
You guys
convinced
know.
that I'm not Kira.
My coffee's half coffee.
Would you mind submitting yourself to a test of your deductive reasoning skills?
Sure.
We can begin by taking a look at these. Photographs of 3 notes. Please let me know what you think.
This is child's play. Clearly, if I read it the way Kira intended on my first attempt, I'd only look more suspicious. Take a look at the first letter of every line, it reveals a message.
Aha.
L, do you know? Gods of death love apples.
See, when I wrote this and had them write that on the walls, oh shit.
L, do you know? Love apples, gods of death.
That's incorrect.
Wrong.
Gods of death who love apples have red hands.
It's a fake.
Ah.
Is he stupid? My deduction was perfect.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
You decided that there were only 3 notes. You never even considered that there might be a 4th.
Because I know what I wrote.
He wanted to see what my reaction would be. If I keep falling for his tricks, I'll be playing right into his...
I love it.
How would you go about establishing this person's innocence?
Something that only Kira could know.
That's 101.
I've asked countless detectives that same question, and it took most of them minutes to even come up with an answer. You immediately thought of a scenario in which Kira is speaking directly to the...
Oh boy.
The more impressive my answers, the more of a suspect I become.
Yes, it's about 3%.
Oh.
Even if you are Kira, it would still be to my benefit to have you working alongside us.
How so?
There's a chance I can help the investigation to move forward. You stand to gain either way.
Yep.
Besides, what proof have you been able to give me that you yourself aren't Kira?
Ah.
Turn it around.
My father or someone else from the task force headquarters was able to confirm your identity.
Ah.
Typical for someone who hates losing. I think that's 7%.
Ooh.
And I take you to task force headquarters, you'll help us with the investigation.
Oh. Is he going to take out the guys working with the dad?
I have some bad news.
Your father is.
He had a heart attack.
Oh. You guys don't think.
No.
Throw him off.
No.
No, because a death note is only to 86 people. He wouldn't take out his own dad to throw off L. Or would he?
Have them call home if you need me to bring anything.
Well, he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive. Yeah. He's under a lot of stress.
Oh, you think?
So the doctors think stress was the only cause?
Yeah, it seems I've been pushing myself a bit too hard lately.
It must have added to your stress knowing that Light is a suspect in this investigation. It's true, he even knows that I am L.
That's correct.
Here's the
This
big
man
reveal.
is L. We on the task force refer to him as Ryuzaki.
This guy is the real L.
Look at that look.
I have time to sit back and watch. I'm the light Yagami who's worried for his father.
Oof.
He has to tell himself to be worried about his dad. Jesus Christ, this guy.
Not long ago, Kira killed 12 FBI agents who'd come to Japan to assist us. Ray Penber exhibited unusual behavior before he died.
It only makes sense I'd be a suspect. I'd like to help with the investigation. Also, I'd like nothing more than to catch Kira so I can prove once and for all that I'm not him. If something ever happened to you, I would find Kira and make sure he gets executed.
Whoa.
This doesn't seem like an act to me. It's too cheesy.
I will eat one chip.
Recently, I've started thinking of this whole situation in a different way. Any person who has come to possess this kind of power is cursed.
I think you're absolutely right.
Opinions vary. I'm talking Kira's opinion. Jesus, guys.
The way you made it sound.
But I'll be back at work as soon as the doctors let me out of here.
Visiting hours were over 10 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, now we
Always
get some
the
alone
visiting
time.
hours.
What would it take to get you to believe that I'm not Kira?
If you aren't Kira, it won't be necessary.
How do you think it feels to be accused of being Kira? What if you were to lock me up for a month?
I can't do anything that would deprive you of basic human rights. It's complete nonsense for the investigator to take suggestions from his...
Oh.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, all Light would do is make his list in advance.
Yeah.
Take good care of Mr. Yagami.
Don't think I'll be able to do much until my father is healthy again.
See ya.
He's the L I've been fighting this whole time.
Are you not Kira?
Huh? I never once felt cursed since I picked up the Death Note. I'm happier than I've ever been.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa. Jesus, guy.
I'm going to create a perfect world.
Honestly, I could care less. Humans who come into contact with a Shinigami have nothing but misfortune.
There you go. Nothing but misfortune.
But I have no intentions of repeating that pattern.
Well, I hope you're right about that.
That's what they all say.
You people must think that just mentioning Kira's name is enough to get us the ratings we need, huh? What I need is a good freaking story, not this crap.
But the police won't talk, sir.
Make something up.
What is it?
Oh, it's tapes from Kira.
Now this is more like it.
Got the Hanji glasses for a minute there.
If you do not broadcast these tapes, I will kill your company's board of directors.
Oh.
Are they criminals?
Just regular people.
So excited I feel like I'm having a heart attack here.
Oh.
What an asshole.
He wants to create his
going
new world.
Going after the board of directors now. Now it doesn't have anything to do with the criminals, but well, you know, the board of directors might be in my way, so
it's a threat.
It's a you know, collateral damage.
Yep. Do what I want, or else.
This.
This is getting so good. The inner dialogue between L and Light has just been awesome, and the fact that Light's dad had a heart attack from all the stress. I mean, at first, I would not put it past Light to take out members of his own family to prove his innocence, because he's at a point where nobody else in the world matters except him. It's all about what he wants and whatever it takes to accomplish that goal. And I do like how the amount that L suspects Light, what he says versus what he really thinks is different. Like, I think he told him 1%, but it's actually 7.
1 to 3 to 7.
Yeah, 1 to 3 to 7. And then, again, we got a little bit more on L about, you know, he has to sit a certain way, otherwise his deductive reasoning goes down by 40%. So we're getting a little bit of breadcrumbs into just who L is, and you're gonna fall and it's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna rock back.
It's gonna increase by 40%. I won't do that. My knees will blow out.
So they can't even see. I need to get my green pants on. Go ahead.
But well, no, it's just interesting how as Light is learning about L, so are we. So we're kind of learning through his eyes, even though he's the villain here, clearly. And we're getting to learn a little bit more the classic, what do I have to do to prove that I'm not him? And it's just like, well, I can't deprive you of your basic human rights. Just you be you, and if you're not him, things will work itself out, and you'll be proved that you're not Kira. So again, and to your point, Oak, even if he did lock him up, look, Light would just have his list written in advance, and it would just happen whenever he wants. The one thing that I did want to ask you folks is it not possible, and again, I might have to go through the rules of the Death Note after here, but couldn't Light have somebody else take somebody else out? Because, you know, he had somebody get hit by a bus, which involves something else happening. So I'm curious if he couldn't have, you know, Joe take out John, and then it leaves, you know, it would remove all suspicion of Kira. I'd be like, no, it was this guy who did it. So that's curious, and maybe there's some rules in the Death Note where you can't do that. So I might have to revisit that. But yeah, overall the matching of the wits we're getting here, because I've said before on the channel that one of my favorite scenes is from Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in the diner, and they're having their back and forth, and now it's like I'm getting an entire series of that scene essentially where El and Light are constantly matching wits, what they're saying versus what they're thinking, and Light has to measure everything that he's saying and think, well, like when they're playing the tennis, well, would I try to win, or would I try to lose? Would Kira want to win, or would Kira try to throw him off? So he's got to think through all this in his head, and he can't really have an honest, true answer because he has to almost vet everything he's thinking about doing. And look, I don't know how long he can keep that up for, but look, we've seen that Light's a brilliant, although completely insane, heartless maniac, but you just wonder how long can he keep it up for until L gets him to crack.
I mean, this episode had everything. It had tennis. I mean, what more do you need after that?
Everything. He lists one thing.
Everything.
Tennis.
Well, and you raise a good point. Like, we all thought with the heart attack, but like since he survived, obviously you can't do that. My thing is, like, with the Death Note, couldn't he? Because he made people go, well, he made them go nuts. He made them write stuff on the wall.
Yeah.
Couldn't he make them write like a note saying, I am Kira. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of you chasing me. And then
you would
have that person then, delete. Mm-hmm. So he's got things that he can do. But right now, Light, it's just funny how Light said, oh, you have less than a 1%. Then he told him 3%. And then in his head, he said, now he's at about 7%. So I'm wondering if we're going to keep going with that throughout this series, that also in one episode he's like, oh, and I'll suspect him to up to 30%.
Well, and Light has to be the number one person he suspects because he's not investigating anybody.
Well, yeah, otherwise why would L now hang out with him?
Yeah, be enrolled in school.
That would justify enrolling in school to hang out with him and play tennis. Yep. And even then when he asks him just questions, oh, you grew up in the UK? And he's like, and he just flat out tells him, yeah, but there's not enough there for you to what my real name is other than L.
Who I am.
So just the way that they've been doing it is just great with this cat and mouse, the back and forth. The diner scene was amazing, which, he alluded to for Heat. But then even when he did then I love how he was like, I will take Kira out now and take care of him, Dad. And meanwhile, there's Al sitting there going, I mean, is that real? It's kind of cheeseball. But then he suggests, well, I'll be in seclusion for a month, with no TV just to prove. And he's like, really, would a sane person who's not the suspect really suggests that?
Well, that's that goes along with the story of, when somebody gets arrested for a crime, it's the guy who just sits there and says nothing, who's usually guilty, versus the person being like, it wasn't me, yelling.
What do I have to
do to prove
my innocence?
Yeah.
And so, like, when you go with that, you're going back and forth with it. So it's really going to be interesting to see, and then especially how they use the information they have on each other moving forward, even like new things in the case, because we know Light isn't going to stop. He's still going to end up taking out people for no reason. All of this.
Building his new world.
His new world.
World order.
It's perfect for life. You wanted a war. And so I'm still waiting for the other Shinigami to come down.
Yeah.
Who said he wanted to watch it along and see what Ryuk was up to, being a pet and all.
Yeah, I thought we'd get that this episode.
I was hoping we'd see them. Well, maybe we'll get that in the next episode. But yeah, just the way that these two are going to keep going back and forth. And I love that they'll go doing the blue and the red to kind of when they're in their inner thoughts on everything is really a nice visual to really help us, get to the point of what they're trying to get to. But yeah, this is a weird, wild stuff. Right?
I mean, Ella's saying, "Oh, it's a 3%." Guys, this feels a lot more than 3%, doesn't it?
Add a zero to that.
Only 3%, sure. So basically, what you're saying is that there's potentially 33 other people. I mean, I know that's not how the math would work, because there could be somebody who's 50%.
Ask Scott Steiner how it works.
Somebody who's 97%, right? So there's not that. But like if everybody was getting this much love, which I mean, Light is getting a lot of attention from L for somebody who only thinks has a 3% chance. Look, maybe it's a matter of just, eliminating the suspects one by one by one. But man, this seems like a lot for somebody he's that, that unsuspicious of. I don't know if that's the right word, but 3%. But in any regard, like, wow, the dialogue is really raw between the two of them. I didn't expect it to be quite like that blatant. I guess I thought there would be a little bit more cat and mouse, like a little bit like the type of back and forth and manipulation you hear in their inner monologue. I thought that's what it would reflect a little bit more on what they're actually saying to each other.
Yeah.
But they play things out a lot more in their head, and then they're just blunt, or at least L is when he's saying stuff to Light. But yeah, look, if somebody was accusing me of all these crazy things, regardless of whether I was doing them or not, if I was going to play innocent, I wouldn't be like, well, I'll go to jail for a month. I'd be like, kick rocks, bruv.
I'll do what I do.
There's a whole reason that our justice system has what's called the burden of proof. It's because it's not my job to prove to you at this point that I'm innocent. That's not how to
prove I'm guilty.
That's not how this works. So it's interesting that Light, him kind of being the cocky teenager is, I think, as this cat and mouse game or this chess game continues, I think Light's experience or rather Light's inexperience in his narcissism is going to get just outmatched by L's experience in his kind of methodical ways, and we said it, I don't know if it's going to make the cut. I know we said it in the last wrap up. It's just a matter of you put the pressure on, and sooner or later Light's going to make a mistake. Sooner or later it's going to crack, and it only takes one. And it's interesting, like, how much this is starting to mirror things we see on true crime documentaries. Of course, Answer, you and your wife have done a lot of these, and and I've watched my own fair share of documentaries, and it seems like so often you get some of these these serial killers, people who do it multiple times, who get into that rhythm where they want credit for it. They think they're smarter than the police. They pride themselves on being smarter, and their egos just skyrocket, thinking they continually get away with it.
Well, and speaking of that, he sent the tapes to the news station. So there you go.
So that was the other thing.
That?
Yeah, so that was the thing I wanted to get into before we wrapped up. Is look, first one, second episode. I'm like, all right, well, it's let's say it's a large moral dilemma, but if he's taking out the worst of the worst, maybe it serves the greater good. Now we're all the way down to the board of directors of a news station. The board of directors of a news station, if they don't run my story, they are inadvertently getting in the way of me taking out these people and doing my job. So I'm now justifying taking out people. Last episode, he openly admitted petty crimes, a purse snatcher.
Yep.
And now I shouldn't even say it's gone that far, because in previous episodes he was taking out investigators because they're trying to, but they're the ones trying to lock him up. So there's a little bit more of a direct, correlation there. Like, you're going to try to lock me up and physically stop me. Now it's just, by the way, tell the board of directors if they don't do what I say, they're out. So now he's just completely leveraging this death note to get whatever he wants for anything. I mean, it's tell your board of directors to wire $30 million into this offshore account, or I'll take, like, where does it stop?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I had more money, then I wouldn't have to work, and I would have more time to do this, and so I'm gonna start holding people for ransom, and like, this kid's bullshit. This kid sucks.
And you
heard it here first, folks. This kid is bullshit. No, this has been really, really a fun, great watch. We cannot wait for more, just like y'all can. So, for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, the Answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.